Hey everyone, I'm Paige Tyler, and if you don't already know me, I write romantic suspense and paranormal romantic suspense along with my hubby. We've got werewolves in the SWAT Special Wolf Alpha Team series and Stash Special Threat Assessment Team series, shifters in the Excerpt series, and Navy SEALs in the Seals of Coronado series. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a regular, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Loving the Wolf from the SWAT Special Wolf Alpha Team series. SWAT Werewolf Trevor McCall is pretty sure he's met the one for him, as in his actual soulmate, the one person who can love him for who and what he is. But there's one problem. Jenna Malone is his best buddy's little sister. Seeing her would be a major violation of the bro code, and making another werewolf in your pack angry is a sure way to start a fight. But when Jenna invites Trevor to visit her in LA, he simply can't resist the temptation. Besides, his buddy back in Dallas will never even know. What could go wrong? Well, a cross-country date gets a little more complicated when Trevor discovers that Jenna has put herself right in the middle of a seriously dangerous situation involving her older sister who's been missing for 10 years and something deadly that lives under the streets of LA. Trevor knows he's going to need help from his pack. He just has to get that help without letting Jenna's brother know what's going on. How hard could that be? Now, we knew we were going to do a best friend's little sister trope from nearly the beginning of the series. It was just a matter of which werewolf would be the brother and which would be the werewolf who got to date the sister. The roles actually bounced around a few times as the sequence of the books changed. It took a couple of books to finally work out the details, but ultimately it was Connor from The Wolf Is Mine who became the brother, and Trevor became the werewolf who got to date Connor's sister. We love the idea of these big bad werewolves fighting with each other over the bro code of not dating someone's sister. Inspiration for Jenna's profession as a special effects artist came from the TV show Face Off on Sci-Fi Channel, which we just loved. And it fits so well with a woman like Jenna, who saw something scary as a child and used art to help her cope with it. Now, on a side note, we saw a website years ago about adventures that explore the old tunnels under LA. Looked so creepy that we knew we had to put in a story. The thought of being trapped in the darkness with a monster was pretty cool for one of our werewolf stories. Now, so what first attracts the hero to the heroine and vice versa? For Trevor, it's Jenna's scent, honeysuckles. Scents are extremely important to a werewolf since they can let them know that the other person could possibly be their soulmate. For Jenna, it's the fact that Trevor is willing to risk her overprotective brother's ire and hanging out with her when she'd gone to Dallas to get help finding her missing sister. The fact that he hadn't dismissed her as damaged like her brother always did was just extra. Now, for a few fun facts about the book. The diner near Skid Row that Trevor and Jenna go to for dinner is based on a real place in LA called the Nickel Diner. We love the look of the place when we checked it out online, not to mention their menu. The maple bacon donuts they have sound amazing. There's a scene in the diner where Jenna sneaks some of Trevor's fries, and when he accuses her of stealing them, Jenna corrects him by pointing out that she was merely checking to see if his fries taste better. And this turns out to be a scientific fact. Fries on other people's plates actually do taste better. Well, that's my story, and I am sticking to it. Now back to those old tunnel systems I mentioned before that the creatures use in the story. They used to house subway lines, which LA had up until the 50s. Some of those old tunnels also serviced the speakeasies during the Prohibition era of the 20s and 30s. Pretty cool, huh? Now, why should you read this book? Well, if you're someone who enjoys immersing yourself in a paranormal world that lives hand in hand with our own, then the SWAT Special Wolf Alpha Team series is for you. There are supernatural creatures, including the SWAT team werewolves, that are so completely different than anything you've ever experienced, and all of them will resonate with you as characters. While this book and all the others in this series are filled with action, thrill, suspense, danger, and humor, at its core, the story is about friendship, family, love, romance, and finding that one person in the world who will love and accept you for who you are. Now that I've told you about Loving the Wolf, how about an excerpt? This is a part of the scene where Trevor sees Jenna again after having been separated from her for a bit. Jenna's delectable scent hit him the moment he reached the second floor. Then again, he supposed there was always a chance someone was simply burning candles in their apartment. That could explain the heavenly scent of honeysuckles filling the air. When he finally reached Jenna's door at the end of the hallway and breathed in the flowery fragrance wafting gently out from underneath it, he knew for a fact it could only be Jenna's scent. In all honesty, he'd already known that because it was the very same one that had enveloped him since he'd first met her back in Dallas. There was no mistaking it. Heart beating faster, he rapped his knuckles on the door. It opened a few seconds later to reveal the most beautiful woman in the world he'd ever set eyes on. Maybe it was simply the fact that he'd been waiting for weeks to see her in person again, but she was even more gorgeous than she'd been the last time he'd seen her. Slender and graceful, with perfect skin, soft pink lips, a button nose, and hazel eyes gazing out from under graceful arching brows, she looked like an elf who just stepped out of a Lord of the Rings movie. While in Dallas, she'd usually worn her hair up in a high ponytail, but now her honey blonde hair was loose around her shoulders, the silky waves hanging down to her waist. It was all he could do to not reach out and run his fingers through it and feel its softness. Hell, what did he really want to do was bury his face in those tresses and breathe her in. The only urge stronger than that was the one demanding he sweep her into his arms and kiss her until they were both out of breath. Crap, he'd been standing in front of Jenna for who knew how long, neither of them saying a word. He already knew he was about to lose it. Damn, he was in so much trouble. Before he could open his mouth, Jenna rushed forward and threw her arms around him, squeezing him so tightly it practically choked the air out of him. Strangely, it was still the best hug he'd ever gotten. Not that he was like a big hugger or anything, but if he were, her hug would have been award-winning, easily 2 thumbs up and 5 stars. The air was electric between them. When Jenna finally stepped back, gazing up at him with expressive eyes that were filled with innocence and fire at the same time, his lips were tingling with the desire to bend his head and kiss her, even as it seemed she might do the same thing at any second. But then the moment passed, and Jenna took a step back, a brilliant smile lighting up her face as he fought for the ability to breathe again. Yup, she would almost certainly be the death of him. I hope you enjoyed that behind-the-story look at Loving the Wolf. If you grab a copy, let me know how you like it. I'll be posting videos about each book in the SWAT Special Wolf Alpha Team series, giving you an inside look at the characters and talking about how he came up with the story, as well as lots of other stuff. So if you enjoyed this video and want to see more, click on that subscribe button. Also, the links to the SWAT Special Wolf Alpha Team series, Loving the Wolf, and my website, as well as social media, are below in the description. Oh, and there's a link to a free book there too. It's called Seal of Her Dreams, and it's from our Seals of Coronado series. I know you'll love it, so grab your copy. Happy reading, and I will see you next time.